Hello, this is the TradeSite US Forex market preview and international economic data roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 16th of June. Happy Father's Day 2019, ending Friday the 21st, which will be options expiration. It's triple expiration, so that will usually slow down even the Forex market because the futures contracts pegged to the currencies will expire, and that's usually a bum event. Having said that, the Forex market's been really dead. So everything seems to slow down the Forex market. There's nothing else to say about that. Here's the dollar index daily chart, as you can see. Flat. Again, we did pop up on strangely late Friday. Euro dollar is the inverse of that. Nothing new there. Pound dollar. Very boring week, and then finally moved on Friday. The Aussie dollar. We had 2 days this week where the ranges were so narrow we couldn't even make calls for the next day. Aussie dollar about to break a key breakdown point here. You might want to take a look at that and take a short under that low on the Aussie dollar. We'll be looking at that. Euro yen. Nothing there. Pound yen. Similar, but it's already broken the lows on Friday, so you can't do what you're going to do on the Aussie. The pound Swiss is here. New Zealand dollar also breaking the lows. So the dollar index on the rise late in the week here. There's no signals from a 13 perspective. Everything else is what it is. All right. 30-minute candles. Here's the week on the euro dollar. High to low for the week is only 140 pips. I will point out, we talked about this in the lab this week, that the euro dollar is showing like 60 pips of average daily range over the last 6 months. It's usually 130 pips. So we're trading less than half on an average daily basis of what the normal range is. That's devastating from a trader's perspective. So there's not much we can do there. But again, here's 140 pips for the whole week. You usually get 120 pips per day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're literally in a 40 pip range, 50 pip. It wasn't until Friday that we got to move here. Again, pound dollar, same thing, high to low for the week. It's not even 200 pips, which is still bad, but the problem is Friday saw most of that move, and before Friday, it was like 100 pips total for the whole week. I mean, there's just nothing to talk about here. There's no signals, there's no setups. The daily charts are horrible. Nothing, and nothing. Here's a look at the data coming out this week. So we've got the rate move HPI out of the UK at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. German BUBA monthly report, don't even know what that is. Canada foreign security purchases, Empire State Manufacturing Index, NAHB housing market index here in the U.S., and tick long-term purchases. So all U.S. stuff on Monday. Going into Tuesday, New Zealand Westpac consumer sentiment. Australia's got their HPI, their housing price index, and their monetary policy meeting minutes. German zoo economic sentiment. CPI out of Europe, trade balance out of Europe. Those are two key numbers at 5 a.m. Tuesday Eastern time. Watch out for what that does to the market there. 10-year bond auction out of the UK. Canada's got their manufacturing sales. US has got housing starts and building permits. Australia's got CB leading index, GDT price index out of New Zealand, along with their current account. Going into Wednesday, trade balance out of Japan, MI leading index out of Australia, German PPI, European current account, Italian trade balance. Then UK releases all of their inflationary numbers at 4:30 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. That's the CPI, PPI, housing price index, and RPI. CB industrial order expectations an hour and a half later. Canada, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, their CPI numbers on Wednesday. The Swiss National Bank quarterly bulletin. Crude oil inventories here in the U.S. We've got a Fed announcement, 2 p.m. Eastern time. So a 2-day Fed meeting, Tuesday going into Wednesday, will be half-size Tuesday night ahead of that because of that. And then the press conference at 2:30. New Zealand's GDP, Australia's RBA bulletin, monetary policy statement out of Japan, along with their Bank of Japan policy rate announcement. All industries activity out of Japan. Trade balance out of Switzerland. Press conference. So Bank of Japan does their rate announcement, then they have their press conference, just like the U.S. did the day before. European ECB economic bulletin. Retail sales here in the UK, or over in the UK. Then the Bank of England does their rate announcement at 7 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday. We've got the Canada's non-farm employment change, U.S. Philly Fed manufacturing current account, the weekly, initial, and continuing jobless claims numbers, Europe's consumer confidence, CB leading index here in the U.S., natty gas half hour later. Australia does their flash manufacturing and services PMI numbers, national core CPI out of Japan, flash manufacturing PMI out of Japan. And then the French, the German, and the broad European, same numbers, flash and services PMI numbers. UK public sector net borrowing. This is Friday morning, or Friday evening in Europe, but Friday morning here in the US. Core retail sales out of Canada, flash manufacturing and services PMI numbers here in the US 945, existing home sales at 10. So rate announcements, the big thing this week. That's what we'll be focused on. And I don't know what else there is to really talk about. Here's a look at the dollar index one more time. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading week in Forex.